Hi, and welcome to Camille's Country Corner. I am Camille, and on today's episode, we will be making two different kinds of soups. The first soup we're going to be making is a clam chowder, and the second one is a loaded baked potato. They are both delicious and comforting soups, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you what you need for these recipes. I'm going to be doing them at the same time because they have a lot of the same ingredients. So let's get started. Okay, this is everything that you will need to make these soups. I'll go ahead and mention what we're doing as we're doing it. Let's go ahead and start this recipe. Okay, we're going to go ahead and chop everything once. For the clam chowder, I'm going to go ahead and cut up one stalk of celery. We're going to go ahead and dice that really well, and a half of an onion. Okay, also for the clam chowder, you need about 2 russets, but I'm going to be using these different creamer potatoes today, the little bit petite mix. I'm not going to use that purple one. Okay, and for the baked potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and use 4 large russets. I'm going to go ahead and use 5 because one is not so large. Nope, I'm just going to use the 4. All right, we're going to go ahead and peel these up. We're going to dice them, and then we're going to get everything going on the stove. So let me go ahead and do one. So you can see the size that I'm going to peel these. Okay, we're going to be mashing some of these, so this is the size that we want for our dice. So I'm going to go ahead and chop the rest of these up, and I'll meet you over at the stove. For both of these recipes, we're going to need some bacon. I have a 10-ounce package of low sodium. This is bacon from Butcher Box, and they are not sponsoring this video. I order Butcher Box every month. It's just a great way to feed your family some I can't even say it. Sustainable food. And you know where it's coming from. All right, let's go ahead and put this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. All right, to my back pan here, I have the potatoes going in about 4 cups of water, and I did the 4.5 potatoes. In this front burner, I have about maybe a little less than a 1/4 cup of the bacon grease that I used for the bacon, and this is going to be for our clam chowder. So I've got my celery and my onion. We should have some carrot in here, but I do not have any carrots today. So we're just going to use what we have. So we're going to go ahead and saute these up in the bacon grease. All right, looks like my potatoes are about done here, so we're going to go ahead and drain those out. All right, we are going to go ahead and switch burners here. To this pan, this is for the baked potato soup. To this pan, I have about a 1/4 cup of butter. We're going to go ahead and melt that down. All right, to our butter, I'm going to go ahead and add some flour. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of flour to this. We're going to let that cook down for a minute. Go ahead and add a little bit of our chicken broth that is still frozen. So let me get some of that in there. I'm going to add probably about a cup of chicken broth. This is my homemade chicken broth. Go ahead and cook that down. Go ahead and add a little salt and pepper. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of garlic to this one. Go ahead and cook this down a little bit more. And add about the same amount of garlic. And add the same amount of flour to this one as well, 1/4 cup. I'm going to go ahead, thicken this up. Alright, we're going to go ahead and add our rest of our chicken broth to this one. This too is about a cup chicken broth. Let that one cook down. Let me go ahead and add our milk. Add our milk to our potato. So So we're going to add probably, let's start with 2 cups of milk here. And I am just using some 2% milk. And I'm going to be adding back in, well, let me mix this first. All right. We're going to add back in most of the potatoes. Okay, we've got about most of the potatoes in here, and I am going to go ahead and mash those down so it thickens our soup a bit. And I'm going to be adding about 5 ounces of cheese. I have a cheddar blend here. So maybe that was more like a cup. And let that cook down a little bit. We are also going to be adding some sour cream here, probably about a cup of that as well. Okay, we're going to add some of the whole potatoes back in here. Well, the ones I didn't mash, not necessarily whole potatoes. All right, we're going to go ahead and let that thicken up for a minute. All right, we're going to add a little bit of onion powder to our baked potato soup. Pretty much this one is done. Normally you would add some scallions to this or some chives. I'll look to see if I have any. I don't think I do. But for the most part, this one is done. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down to low. We're going to continue on with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my pans out. Okay. Let that thicken up a little. And I am going to go ahead and add my potatoes in here. We're going to let those cook a little. All right, we're going to let those cook until it cooks those potatoes a little bit. We're also going to add 2 cups of milk to this one as well. If you have cream here, or half and half, that's a good thing to add. Also going to be adding 8 ounces of clam juice. And we are also going to be adding, let me see, this is whole baby clams. And this is a 10-ounce can. I'm not going to drain them, I'm going to add the whole thing. Right, we're going to add that juice and all. All right, we're going to go ahead and let that cook for a while. And I will bring you back here in a minute. Actually, we're going to go ahead and add our bacon. We're going to add our bacon in here to our baked potato soup. And I've added about 6 Put in about 6 pieces of bacon in here. You can add more, top it. All right. I'm gonna let that thicken up and cook those potatoes a little bit, and I'll bring you right back for the next step. All right, now that the potatoes have cooked down and they're fork tender, I'm gonna go ahead and add some salt and pepper. Probably about a teaspoon of each. Let me go ahead and try this. Just a smidge more salt. All right, now this is not as thick as I would like it, so I am going to add a cornstarch slurry, and I'm going to really thicken this up now. All right, I'm going to be adding a little bit of parsley, add a little bit of onion powder to this as well. Okay, now that it's nice and thickened up, we're gonna go ahead and turn it off. Let it cool for just a minute. I did add about 4 to 5 slices of the cooked bacon in here. And let's go ahead and give it a try. All right, these are both of our soups. Now that they're done, let's put them in bowls and give them a try. All right, let's give this a try. So I'm gonna start off with our clam chowder. So good. It's better than what you buy from the store. And it definitely is chunkier because it has whole clams in there. I usually add some minced clams to that as well, but I didn't buy that, so thought I had that on my shelf, and I was making that today. So I would add a can or 2 of the minced clams with their juice as well. Now let's go ahead and do our loaded baked potato. I really wish I had some scallions or chives because it would be 10 times better, but this is delicious. So you could top this with some more bacon, more cheese, a dollop of sour cream. All of that is in here, and you can taste it. It tastes just like baked potato, a loaded baked potato at that. So good. Some of those were still in whole pieces, so it doesn't taste like a baby food mush. But this is delicious. I hope you try both of these recipes. I'm going to pull out some, actually I made some grilled turkey and cheese. So we're going to go ahead and dip that in our soups, and we're going to have our dinner now. I hope you try these recipes. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Definitely hit that like button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by today.